Hello, it's me, Ben Povlow from the selfhelpcompany.com. I would like to thank you for tuning in to today's show. We are continuing on our journey here through the chapters of my new book, Self-Help for At-Risk Teens. And today we have arrived at chapter 13, which is Hobbies and Ways to Spend Your Time. Amongst the pandemic times that we're in right now, I know it's become hard to get out and socialize, and we may have become a little more accustomed to just technology and video games and TV, and really just it feels like Groundhog Day every day right now because we've been in this pandemic for over 6 months now. And so I just want to share with you some of the ideas that maybe you could take advantage of and implement into your life so you can get more active and maybe break out of the monotony of your routine, but also stuff that you can do to benefit you in the future as well. So these are just a short list of ideas, but as you get new ideas coming to you, please write them down because this is really just to get your creative juices flowing. Now, I understand that you could be doing anything with your time, but entertainment and education need to have more of an equal balance. And I feel like a lot of the world right now, not just young people, but adults as well, have really become consumed with social media and other forms of ways to occupy your mind when it's like whenever someone's bored for even a split second, automatically they're pulling out their phones and they just start scrolling through whatever favorite social media app they have. And I feel like if you are aware of this and you realize that that's what you're doing, then you could stop that habit. That's a habit you can break. And I want to share with you just mainly some ways that you can spend your time more productively. Now, I don't know if you've seen this Netflix documentary or not, but I just recently watched The Social Dilemma. And if you haven't seen it, go check it out. But it's basically a lot of tech giants, industry leaders, people that have run Facebook and CEOs and things like that of all the different social networks. And you will be blown away at what they say about how the technology that they've created is using all these mind tricks and psychology to know everything you think and what you do and your behaviors. And they're really, it's crazy. And I feel like we need to all just get back to outside, seeing people face to face, doing things outside of technology every once in a while to break the habit and to break the cycle of becoming so consumed with our phones, basically. And not just our phones, but all other technology too, because it's great to use them, but it's also good to disconnect every once in a while. So we're going to talk about technology in the next chapter, and you're going to be amazed at how you can use it to your advantage versus just being entertained. But today, I'm going to give you some ideas that a lot of it's stuff is you may already be aware of, but you just may not be doing. And so right now, in this particular time in our lives, I think it's more important than ever to get out of the house, get some fresh air, and maybe play a sport. Maybe it's a sport that you could do by yourself. Maybe it's just a couple friends. Maybe it's a sport that you used to play, but you got away from, and now you feel like you're a little bit older, and you're like, oh, maybe I can get back to that. So if you enjoyed playing soccer as a kid, maybe you can start doing that again. It's a good way to get your juices flowing, get some exercise, get out of the house, fresh air, socialize. The other thing is you can learn to play an instrument. This is a great way to spend your time. You could learn how to play guitar or drums or violin, piano, anything you want to learn. You could take lessons right on your computer. There are so many programs out there right now. There's apps, Plus, YouTube has tons of videos. And so you're still using technology, you're still watching videos, but it's a video that is educating you versus just entertaining you. So it's a simple decision. Either watch somebody get pranked or fail by falling on their head, or learn to play guitar, something like that. It's just, you're still watching the video, but at least it's educational. The other hobby I think is really cool is something that most people are doing every day, which is taking pictures. Now, most people take pictures using their phones nowadays, but photography has come so far, and it's also, there's so much history with photography. And I think it's a really good hobby where you can get into that. If you like it and enjoy it, you can learn the history of photography, you can understand how cameras have evolved, you can learn how film, which used to be an actual tape, you can see how it used to be developed. You could also get creative, even if you are using your phone, with how to manipulate photos and different lenses and things where you can take photos that are actually good enough for people to pay you for. Now, there's so much you could do with photography. I just think it's a great way to spend some time outside of just entertainment while entertaining yourself. It's really cool that way. And that particular hobby leads me to my next favorite thing, which is something I've always done, which is I've loved to travel. Traveling has always been something I've been doing, even since I was young. Once I became 18, well, after I got out of juvenile program, and became an adult and had the ability to go on my own, one of the first things I did, I think it was still 19 maybe years old, I jumped on an Amtrak train from Philadelphia to Florida, and been going ever since. So, it's just, I like to travel by car. I really love road trips, like going to national parks and state parks and different places you can research and travel to. And then when you're there, you could be taking pictures and you could find beautiful scenery. All these things are tied together, but you're doing research on places you want to visit. The other thing is, when you get older, and of course you could travel internationally, say you want to go to France or Germany. Well, now is a good time to start learning how to speak that language. Traveling to a foreign country is always going to be a lot more fun, a little bit easier when you know the language. So if you like France and you want to visit France, learn how to speak French. That's a way you can start spending your time right now. Learning a second language is a powerful tool, not just in having a better experience when you travel, but it also makes you more valuable in a job market. Right now, you could be spending 15 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day, watching, learning. They have learning apps, translation apps. You have all kinds of apps and technologies now to teach you how to speak a second language. It's never been easier, and you're still using technology, but you're using it to benefit you, and that in itself can be just a positive way to spend your time. So these are some just simple stuff. Then there's also things that are just right in your own house, in your own backyard, where you could get out and ride a bike, or you could ride a skateboard. Anything that you can do that disconnect from technology, get a little fresh air, get your wheels turning, your creative juices flowing, and start to get out of the monotonous routine of just watching TV and being on the computer all the time. So start to learn and study for your future. It's another thing that I think is really important, is if you have a desire or a goal to work in a specific industry. So say, for example, if you want to become a real estate agent, if you watch these real estate shows on TV and you see these people making tons of money selling real estate, there's no limit on how old you need to be to start studying that stuff. You could be 15 years old right now reading the book on how to get a real estate license. You could be researching different companies who you might want to work for. These are all ways you could be spending your time right now. If you wanted to do anything in the future, you could start studying it now, so when you become 18, you're like ready to go. These are all positive ways to spend your time, even if it's only 30 minutes a day. It's not a big chunk of time, but if you do it over a consistent amount of months, weeks, years, you can become a master and very, very knowledgeable on any topic, any job, any industry. If you just start gradually learning now and do it over a consistent amount of time, you'll be amazed at what you can do. I believe you can do anything you put your mind to. It's just a matter of you deciding what it is you want to focus on. So, learning a second language, learning how to do a specific job, becoming a master and an expert in a specific industry. You can learn how to, invest money and things like I talk about in the money chapter. There's ways you can make money online. You could start learning internet marketing, things I talk about in the technology chapter and the making money chapter, ways to use the computer to make money. There's all kinds of things you could be doing right now to educate yourself versus entertain yourself. So instead of just vegging out and chilling in front of the TV all day, break it up, spend some time educating yourself for your future, so that way when you're on your 18th birthday, you'll be ready to go, jam-packed full of knowledge, experience, and ready to roll. You'll be positioning yourself for a great adult start, and you'll be well on your way by just investing that little bit of time right now. I hope this was helpful. Like I said, the next chapter is the technology chapter, chapter 14. That'll be the next episode. We're going to cover all kinds of ways that you can use technology to become your servant versus your master. You can learn how to use it in ways that you may have never imagined before. And I'm going to share some of them with you based on my own personal experiences. And I think it's going to be really exciting for you to learn. So thank you again for tuning in. Don't forget to share this information with your friends. If you find it valuable, subscribe to the videos, subscribe to the podcast, share it, comment it, rate it, review it. Anything you could do to help the show grow, and anything I can do to help you, please don't forget to comment, leave me a message, or send me an email. I would love to be able to tailor some of the next episodes towards the content that you all desire. So thank you again for being here. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you taking the time. Have yourself a great day.